This is Surf Radio.
Live from the Hua Hin Marriott Resort and Spa. This is the Marriott Breakfast Show.
With Andy Curtis.
Our guest today is Scott Beecham from Thai Country Homes. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Really happy to be here.
Well, it's lovely to have you here to talk about property and what your company's doing and various other sort of real estate type things. First of all, though, before we get into the nitty-gritty of today's conversation, how long have you been in Thailand and how did you get here?
Okay, so I've been in Thailand for 15 years. My father lived here before I did. Came here on like an extended holiday and I just never went back, basically. It was at a point in my life where something needed to change and so that's what I did. I lived in Bangkok for 9 years before I came to live in Hua Hin, and now we've been doing the property thing here for the last 6 years.
Right.
And it's gone really well. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about property before, during, and after COVID. So let's talk about the before first.
Okay, so before COVID, the project was going pretty well. I did some agency work before then as well. The project was going okay, and then COVID hit, and obviously it all sort of died a little bit because people couldn't come here.
Right.
So that was all a little bit stressful, I would say, because people couldn't come here, so we didn't sell that many houses.
But is it sort of very dependent on people actually being physically here to see things? Because presumably you can take video and sell stuff.
Not necessarily. I have sold a few houses to people who've never been here. That has happened.
Okay.
But I make the YouTube videos and stuff like that, and,
Right.
and that really helps. So yeah, I have sold a few to people who've never been here.
Right. And then after COVID, what's the business been like
after COVID, it just exploded. COVID ended up being the best thing that could have ever happened, to be honest. I know that sounds like a kind of terrible thing to say, but it was absolutely true. Because after COVID, I think everybody just wanted to get out of places like Europe and the cost of living crisis and all that kind of thing, because it really took off. We started phase 2 of the project in January 22, and we sold out phase 2 and phase 3 in like 16 months.
So this is Banputara you're talking about?
Banputara, yeah. And now we have the new project Mountainside, which is starting now, building a show house.
So how many houses were there in the first initial stages of the construction?
So there's 60 in the first one, and there's going to be 48 on the next one.
That's a lot of houses.
Yes.
So how does it work when you're doing the real estate thing? Obviously you have partners, but somebody goes out and says, oh, okay, there's a nice piece of land, let's put some houses on that. How does that all work?
Yeah, so we have the current site at the moment, which was bought between my father and Kunekarat at the time, and then obviously this one's all sold out. So we took a look around for the next one. We found the land which is a bit closer to Black Mountain Golf Course and the International School. It's lovely, open, breezy, it's a really beautiful piece of land. There's mountains all around. So yeah, we went ahead and bought that one as well. And now we're going to do another 48 customizable pool villas on there.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to be busy.
Yeah. Why is Hua Hin one of the best places to live in Thailand, as opposed to other places?
I would say it is the best place to live in Thailand.
Okay.
Actually, I reckon I can put up a pretty strong argument for that.
Okay, well, I would have to agree with you, otherwise, obviously, I wouldn't be here. But
Yeah.
give us the advantages of Hua Hin over anywhere else.
I'd say that there's better places in Hua Hin to go on holiday, like Krabi and Koh Tao. Like they're great places to go on holiday. Lovely. There are probably better places to go if you want to party and that kind of thing.
Been there, done that, got the scars to prove it.
To actually live like a nice chilled out tropical lifestyle, Hua Hin's perfect. The restaurants that we have here, there's lovely beaches if you want them, the scenery's lovely. We've got some great supermarkets.
Fabulous radio station
A
too.
great radio station. Yeah.
That was the obligatory comment. So basically, I see what you're saying, because there are obviously lots of places where there are foreigners living in Thailand. Phuket was super hot 10 years ago, if I remember correctly, maybe a little bit more than 10 years ago, and everyone I knew, I was living in Hong Kong at the time, everyone I knew was buying property in Phuket like it was going out of fashion. Now all of a sudden, people are going, okay, Hua Hin is a nice place to actually live, and that's basically what you're saying. It's a place to live as opposed to holidays.
I think it's really busy now. So from what I hear, Phuket's really, really busy now.
Yeah.
And another important thing is how easily accessible Bangkok is from here as well. Like it's only a few hours to get back to Bangkok, and the airport airport there is like an Asian hub, so you can get anywhere from there. So I mean, that's a big advantage to it as well. I think. Go for it.
There have been development after development after development here, and it seems that Hin Lek Phai is a very popular area to build houses. Why is that compared to other areas? Can you answer that?
Certainly is at the moment. There's a lot going on around Hin Lek Phai now, which is fantastic for us. So when we bought that original plot of land, like it was pretty quiet there, and people were saying, "What you bought a plot of land right out there for? It's in the middle of nowhere." And now it's not in the middle of nowhere at all. There's lots of stuff going on. Soi 70 is only a couple of kilometres away, and Soi 70's got loads of great stuff. It's good restaurants, you know, the banana ketchup, Panay Focaccia, Daddy Deli, L'Occitan. There's so many good places down there.
But you've also opened your own restaurant there as well. Is it your own restaurant?
Yeah, well, we built a restaurant as like a meeting place for the people on the project. So Stephen Pawn, big shout out to Stephen Pawn. They're renting the restaurant, and they run a restaurant called Terra. So it's Terra at Bambuttara, and it's pretty fantastic. It's right next to my office as well, which is great for me. So I can always get nice food, which is awesome.
But the roads around there seem to be in quite good condition as well. I've noticed there seems to have. I mean, I've gone for some very strange reason when I have actually been able to get a car and drive around. There have been some. It looks like there's been some sort of resurfacing works on some of the roads.
Well, they have. I mean, they've been doing some great resurfacing around Hua Hin in general. I think over the last 3 or 4 years, it seems like they've almost done everywhere. But yeah, they've done it all around out by Black Mountain. And
they haven't done Soi 94 though. That's still full of potholes.
Yeah. Well, maybe it keeps its character. You never know. But yeah. So yeah, no, there's lots of stuff going on out around there. Near the school, we've got the health park opening up as well.
Yes,
which I think is going to be great. Daddy Deli's doing the food there, and the osteopath Henrik's going to do the osteopath there. So yeah, that's cool.
So it's kind of developing into its own sort of little hub of excitement around.
It is. It's going to be its own little area out there. Yeah, it's great. We've got the water park. My kids go to the school. Very lucky to live in that area.
Tell me a little bit about the school there, because there is an international school there.
It is, and it's awesome. Yeah. No, both my kids go to the school, and it is fantastic. And it's Sunday evening, and I say to my kids, "School tomorrow." They go, "Yay!"
Oh my God, what's wrong with your children?
Yeah, that's the exact polar opposite of what I was like when I was a kid.
Yeah, exactly.
When it was Sunday night. So yeah, that's great.
And you know what they say? I mean, do you live in one of the developments there as well?
I live just down the road, like 5 minutes down the road.
Okay, yeah. You know what
same style house, same builder, but yeah.
You know what they say? You know, you shouldn't. What is it? You shouldn't take your own production or use your own things that you're making. But you live there as well.
I do. I live in the same house. It's another little project, just with a few rental investments in it, but same builder, same style. I still chose my tiles, chose my kitchen, chose my furniture, and then just went with whatever my wife wanted, of course.
Of course. Scott, I was going to ask, what is the deal with investment in property in Thailand? I've been watching over the years. I've been married now for feels like 500 years. Thankfully, she doesn't listen to the radio. And my wife says, if you buy a house in Thailand, don't expect the value to rise that much. It kind of seems to stay fairly level. Is that the case?
It pretty much does. Yeah. What we're really selling is a lifestyle.
Right.
If you use your house for 5 to 10 years, have this lovely lifestyle, swimming pool in your garden, eating dinner on your terrace every night, and you get your money back for your house in 10 years' time, then you've done really well.
Right. That's basically across the board. There's very little profit to be made.
But there's a good rental market in Hua Hin, particularly around Hin Lek Phai at the moment, because it's near the school. I'm starting to sell quite a few where people are buying them as rental investments.
Right.
So that's an opportunity as well at the moment, I would say.
Can you mention what sort of return somebody would get on monthly rental?
For 6%, I would say, but regular houses sort of 30,000 up to 50,000 a month, depending on how big they are, how many bedrooms they've got. Maybe up to 80,000 a month if it's a really big one.
Right.
Yeah.
And the properties that you've been building in Bambuttara and now Mountainside as well. You have a very nice shirt on. Where's mine, by the way?
Got my shirt on.
Where's mine?
I'll have to get that printed up.
In the post. So the properties that you've been building, what's the kind of the size? How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
Okay, so we do 3 bed, 3 bath, and there's like 3 standard designs, but they're very customizable, and I will do completely customized designs as well. Clients can have as much input into the whole process as they like, and they usually do like having a lot of input input
Right.
into the process. The clients come up with some great ideas sometimes, and of course I then pass them off as my own in the future.
And very high quality fixtures and fittings
Yeah,
as
yeah,
well.
it's high quality construction, high quality finishing, and eco solutions. 5 kilowatts of solar comes as standard. We do underground rainwater harvesting tanks, so you can reuse the water for watering the garden when it's not raining. So it's pretty great. Yeah.
Actually, we were talking about the solar thing as well, which is something that very much interests me. All of the properties have a solar
They
power.
do, yeah. They come with 5 kilowatts with a 10 kilowatt inverter as standard, so you could add more in the future if you wanted to.
And what sort of power does that get you with that kind of solar?
Okay, so with a 5 kilowatt system, it's certainly going to run your swimming pool during the day. We also do an eco pool pump, which brings the running cost down to your swimming pool. It would certainly run your pool during the day, and I would say it reduces your bills by about 2,000 baht per month. I
Wow.
would say is about what it is.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah, average electric bill on one of our houses is about 3,000 a month. Always depends on aircon usage, of course. That's the
Right,
thing.
right. But a lot of them are sort of fairly breezy anyway, so you're not likely to be using your aircon.
It is. The area where we are is fairly open and breezy. You won't have to run your aircons in the daytime.
Fantastic. Rainwater harvesting. When I hear your ads and it says rainwater harvesting, what is that? You're basically collecting the rainwater.
Yeah, there's a 17,000 litre rainwater harvesting tank which is under the carport. So it harvests the rainwater from the gutters that go into the tank, and then you can use it for sprinkling the garden, and it goes through a filtration system into the house.
Wow.
Use it for showering and brushing your teeth and all that sort of thing.
Oh, wow.
Still can't drink it, but you can add an extra filtration system if you want to drink it. But
Incredible.
yeah, it's just basically reuses the rainwater, which is pretty cool.
And whose idea was that? Not yours.
It was not my idea, no. I don't know. It was a good one, though.
So, sounds like a very good idea. So you've got solar to help with your electricity bills. You've got the
Yeah.
rainwater harvesting to help with your water bills.
Yeah.
But water bills are not that expensive.
They're not really,
Hua Hin.
no.
But the colour of the water is awful, so presumably that really helps.
But with the filtration
Yes,
system, you mean?
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it absolutely helps.
So what's next? So you're doing Mountainside right now.
Mountainside is what we're going to concentrate on. We also have Smart Hamlet, which is a smaller version of Bambutra. Same style, still underground electrics and all that sort of thing. Just smaller houses to a smaller budget. But I've only got a few plots left on that one now. So it's going to be concentrating on Mountainside. The new show house will be completed in a few months. So it's going to be great. It's going to be wow.
Okay, for sure. Scott, so the future of Thai Country Homes, this is you're basically going to be here for the duration. Is there ever going to be land running out in Hua Hin, do you think?
Not for quite a long time. There's a lot on the market at the moment, for sure, yeah.
But is it getting more and more expensive, even, I mean, for developers to buy the land? Is the land expensive?
It is getting more expensive. The prices are going up, particularly in Hin Lek Phai they are. But yeah, the prices are going up generally.
So that presumably means then that the housing will get more expensive.
It quite possibly will do, yes.
But at the moment, for example, just give me sort of a ballpark. What sort of pricing are you looking at in terms of buying a house? I mean, not just with your developments, but in general, if you want to buy a house in Hua Hin, and we're talking perhaps about a leasehold rather than the freehold.
Okay.
What's the kind of the ballpark figure for a 3-bedroom house?
It sort of depends, I would say, but you're looking at between sort of 8 to 15 million, I would say, depending on how big it is, that kind of thing, what's included, size of land, that sort of thing, the variables there. But yeah, sort of between 8 to 15, I would say.
And what's the deal, for example, I mean, I mentioned leasehold there. I mean, obviously, as foreigners, we can't own the land, but we can own the house that the land is built on as a leasehold.
Yeah.
So how does that work? I mean, if we have some retirees listening, for example, who may wish to leave the house that they bought on a leasehold, how will that work for them if they want to leave it for their kids or for their
they can make a will, and it would just go to their children. Their children would just take over the lease, and the lease would carry on, and then when the lease runs out, they just renew the lease again.
And it's as simple as that?
Yes.
But you presumably will offer some kind of legal assistance?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I have a fantastic lawyer. Shout out to Maud in Legal Services. She makes my life a lot easier. She's fantastic, so I can always refer people to her all the time. So yeah, she's great.
And some friends of mine from Hong Kong and Macau, Peter and Audra, just bought one of your properties not so long ago. After listening to the Marriott Breakfast Show, they heard your ad, came here, checked out the house, bought it, and they're actually coming later on this month.
They are coming later on this month. They are helping Judy spec her villa, actually, because
Peter's stepmother is also buying a property property as well.
Yeah. So Audra's very much involved in that process, which is great. They're lovely, actually. I love them. Peter and Audra, if you're listening, you're great.
Well, I think they should be listening. If they're not, I'll let them know. All right. Well, look, Scott, it's been a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah,
if people are interested in getting in touch with you for whatever reason, if they want to have a look at your properties or even potentially buy one, how do they get hold of you?
Sure, please go to www.thaicountryhomes.com. All my contact details are on there. It's got everything you need to know about the project. And it'd be great if you came to visit me.
Well, Scott, thanks very much indeed. It's been an eye-opener. And when I next decide that I'm going to buy my next few houses, I'll give you a shout.
All right, you're welcome.
This is Surf Radio
The Marriott Breakfast Show
with Andy Curtis.
Surf Radio.